Well, this absolutely sucks. You know, I actually woke up in a great mood today. Looking forward, we got a lot of new awesome games coming up in the next year or two. Great stuff to look forward to. Also, having a child in a few months, so that's pretty cool. But the games, man, the games, like there's a lot of great looking stuff on the horizon. And one of those games that I've been quite excited for is State of Decay 3. State of Decay is one of my favorite zombie franchises. I've got several videos on the channel from nearly 13 years ago playing the original, and it's an all-timer as far as I'm concerned, like a fantastic game. In fact, just recently I started playing through State of Decay 2 in anticipation of the upcoming third installment, and that has been a heck of a lot of fun. And then over the past week, we've got like a slew of new gameplay videos from a preview event for State of Decay 3, and it looks friggin' awesome, dude. Like, I sat down and I've watched multiple hours of gameplay for this game, just pumped at how it's shaping up. It's basically looking like a prettier, updated version of State of Decay 2, with bigger maps, more enemies, more mechanics, less tethering, and some new interesting twist, which is pretty much exactly what I was hoping for. So like, dude, great, yeah, everything's shaping up great. Awesome stuff, the future's looking beautiful. And then today, I wake up to the news that there is a real possibility that State of Decay 2 could be the last one that we get. Reporting from Windows Central this past Monday claims State of Decay 3 is in danger of being canceled as Microsoft is exploring selling off its developer Undead Labs. This news comes in conjunction with a whole bunch of other reports that we've gotten that Microsoft is planning to shed or shut down multiple studios in the coming months, if not imminently. All of this in an attempt to make their underperforming Xbox division a little more profitable. Now, it's gonna come as no surprise to anybody who follows the gaming news, the gaming industry side of things, that Xbox hasn't been doing so hot recently, in spite of them spending record billions of dollars in acquisitions for Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, King, amongst others. The company has still not managed to see the growth it projected or that it wants. Then, following the departure of Phil Spencer, now under new leadership, it appears like they are currently in the move fast and break phase of attempting to right the ship. And yeah, they're going to be breaking a lot of stuff, starting with State of Decay 3 apparently. And I gotta say, this news is just incredibly frustrating for me personally. Again, I'm a big fan of State of Decay, I'm a big fan of Undead Labs, and I've been looking forward to their next installment for quite some time. And then, like I said, we just had the NDA lifted recently, so we've got all of this gameplay footage. It's been a whirlwind. I've gone over the course of a couple of days from being super pumped, like, man, this looks awesome, can't wait to play, to now sitting here with the specter of the game getting canceled looming overhead. Like, honestly, what the hell, dude? This game was supposed to launch in under a year from now, and they're gonna cancel it? Like, and what's crazier still is we just had Summer Games Fest, during which Microsoft released a brand spanking new gameplay trailer, and that came with an end slate that reiterated launching in 2027. It's almost time, boys. In fact, they even also posted a 40-minute gameplay developer deep dive on the official Xbox YouTube channel. They posted a 40-minute deep dive for this game, and now, assuming these reports are true, which we're getting a lot of signs that they are, what, it's like, psych? The game's canceled? Excuse me? Like, what are we doing here? And honestly, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, dude, just put the game in early access. I don't care if people are sick to death of early access games. I really don't. I'd rather us get an unfinished product than none at all. Like, give the game a chance of surviving. If you come into early access and enough people buy it and like it, then the game gets good reviews, and then it gets good word of mouth, and then more people could pick it up, and those purchases will help pay for the developers to finish the product. Versus the alternative of this game or other games just getting tossed into the bin before ever seeing the light of day. In fact, I've actually been planning a video just entirely about this topic of early access. I see people constantly complaining on my videos when I'm covering some early access games that they are so sick of early access and that developers should just release the game once it's finished. Stop this early access scam. And I'm thinking, yeah, sure, okay, it's a great idea in theory. However, I gotta say, in general, I'm of the opinion that I would rather have more early access games than the alternative of games getting canceled mid-development, which looks like it could be happening right now, and it happens all the time. As I've talked about a few times quite recently, just last year we had 4 massive in development MMOs get canceled, some of which appear to be near releasing. So yes, I 1000% would rather these games get an early access release, even if they are unfinished and buggy, than getting tossed into the bin and having 0 chance of success. Like 1,000,000%. That is my preference. Yeah, man, it's really just super frustrating. Now, as mentioned, back to the news. As mentioned, State of Decay 3 isn't the only game being affected here under Microsoft. Other studios are reportedly on the chopping block, including Double Fine, Compulsion, and Ninja Theory, who, by the way, Microsoft just announced their next game in the Senua series with a reveal trailer at Summer Games Fest. There's a real good chance, actually, that this was kind of meant to provide some motivation for potential buyers, as Microsoft reportedly at the time to showing this new game reveal already knew that they were planning to part ways with the studio. Now, of course, all of this is just like one small part of a larger picture that is the current state of the games industry, with the length of development times averaging sometimes 5 to 7 years, cost ballooning into the multiple hundreds of millions of dollars for the bigger projects, and the fact that there are more and more games released every single year, resulting in ever-growing competition. And so yeah, Microsoft does appear to be trying to get rid of some of their lower performers, or companies who they don't expect that they will recoup the cost it takes to maintain these studios. Double Fine, Compulsion, and Ninja Theory haven't exactly been raking in the cash based on what we know of the sales data on their latest outputs. But also, it's my understanding that these companies were in part brought into the fold to help bolster Microsoft's Game Pass ambitions. The idea being get more games onto the service to add more value to that monthly gaming subscription. All of the games don't have to have the Fortnite level of financial success, because of course they won't. That's like a lightning strike once in a blue moon kind of situation. They just need to bring some overall value to the larger portfolio, even if it's only to the tune of couple million players lifetime. At least, again, that was the initial idea, kind of the gaming version of Netflix, right? Like, it's not like everything on Netflix is a banger, but they want to keep bringing in new stuff to add more value to the service, even if the value is of a lower quality, whatever, right? Or appeals to less people. But in general, it does appear like right now that, yeah, they're moving fast and breaking shit. The tides are turning. Microsoft is reining back on their Game Pass-oriented spending, and all of these studios are on the block as a result. Now, when it comes to Undead Labs in particular, this is also a frustrating situation. Again, personally, selfishly, I'm a big fan of State of Decay, and I really want to see the next iteration. Now, from a quick search, it does look like the franchise has been relatively successful. The first game evidently sold 2 million copies, and then State of Decay 2 apparently surpassed 10 million, half of which were on Steam, and the other half split between purchases on Xbox or the Game Pass metrics. So clearly, again, it's a moderately successful franchise, and here we are, 8 years since the release of State of Decay 2. Now let's assume State of Decay 3 spent 6 of those 8 years in development, knock off a couple of them for the disruption that was 2020 through 2022-ish. Is that too long for them to be working on this game? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to know. But if the reports are true, yes, it does seem like Microsoft doesn't think it's worth any further investment to even help them cross their own projected 2027 finish line. And yeah, that is extremely disappointing. And once more, all of this recent gameplay that we've seen, it looks good enough that I would at least hope that they consider an early access launch or something. Like, put it out into the wild and play it by ear. See how the reception is, see if enough people like what you have at the moment to let it finish development. Because yeah, if the alternative is canceling the game and us never getting a chance to play it, I'll take an unfinished version over that. Also, I want to state it's been pretty clear that there is a lot of interest in State of Decay 3. The official gameplay trailer from Summer Games Fest has over 500,000 views as of this recording. All of the recent gameplay videos from various creators have been racking up hundreds of thousands of views. And just check out the comments on that gameplay deep dive from Summer Game Fest. Again, clearly, there's a lot of interest in this thing. The State of Decay games are honestly one of the best things about Xbox. I'm so glad to see this video. I was just thinking that I wish we had more info on State of Decay 3, and then we got it in the showcase. Thanks for this. Been waiting so long for State of Decay 3. Yeah, bro, me too. Maybe it took them too long to develop the game. There was a lot going on over the course of the past 8 years that helped disrupt development, and who knows on the management side of things, or what was and wasn't dictated by Microsoft that affected that and the length of development, and as such, the amount of money that it cost for paying the developers for all those years. You know, I mean, I don't know, man. This is just one story amongst many of this type, I know, but it's one that hit home for me, and so that's why I wanted to talk about it here today. I just really hope that Undead Labs can get something to work here, be it finding a brand new publisher, going fully independent, or just even convincing Microsoft to let them finish the game and put it out next year. Just at least let them do that, or whatever. I don't know, man. I would say if you're personally concerned or interested in State of Decay 3 and you're wanting to help the odds of it getting released and us getting to play it, I definitely recommend wishlisting the game on Steam, maybe register for their current ongoing playtest. I would assume that Undead Labs could use these metrics in their favor, be it for negotiating with potentially new buyers or even just Microsoft directly. All right, well, that is it for today's story. It's been a while since I've done kind of a news-based video like this, and in general, I really try to focus a lot of my energy and my content on just the things that I'm interested in and excited about and looking forward to, but that's kind of where this video fits in, because this is something that I was very much looking forward to, and the idea that it's going to get canceled before we ever get the chance to see it, extremely disappointing. So I wanted to report on it, and yeah, maybe go wishlist the game. Maybe that helps him out, get it across the finish line. All right, that's all for today. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.